Today is the day. I am excited as get these bars finally out of this car. There. I looked earlier. These bars, or I got the tubing on April 16th of last year. So they've been in almost a year, not quite, 10 months. And I get to cut them out today. You don't know how happy that makes me. We fired up the air compressor and aired it up already. And now it's time to make some sparks. The happy sparks. Not the sad sparks that we've been making this whole time, but happy sparks. This is a view we're not used to. I mean, we got a lot more work to do. The main bars are out. And I got not too bad here. I got to clean up, grind there. And then I got to clean up, grind, and then I got to fix that. Nah, it is what it is. I'll have to grind it, fix it, and then fill it. Kind of like I got to do there. But the bars are out. I tried to do these meticulously, and then I decided, let's just go for the wholesale. Cut it, and then we'll clean it up where we can get around it without a bar in the way. That one's not too bad. A little grinding, that will be perfect to go. Over here, I kind of cheated. I just cut the whole bar out. It's a lot easier to take that grinder and just go whoop, cut the bar out and then deal with the tails, because you got a lot more room to work around them with there's no bar. Did pretty good getting that one out. Still got to do a little grinding and cleaning. We'll see what these bring, what kind of touch-up work I got to do to fix it. That one came out pretty good. Got to grind that one a little bit, but that's not too bad. But overall, I'm happy. There's no bars in the way anymore. I don't remember how this door closed before. You got to give it a little pressure, but it closes. And the gaps, for having this car with no floor and bracing, overall, I think the gaps are about where they were. You know, I don't remember how that door closes. You guys can tell me. But that's where we're at. This is the definition of a fish out of water. Me attempting. We tried to put some up there, but it was already hardening too quick. So, yeah, I'm going to have to mix up some more. But we got it on there. We're going to shape it, make it look good, I hope. So, we're going to keep working at it. Most of this is just feathering. Most of this here is just feathering out, and I got a nick there I got to fill in. But that might be like glazing putty, but nothing to shape there, just on there. And then we'll get some filler put up there once I make the next batch, because I got to do the other side. I just not ready to mix up more yet. We're going to see how this first batch goes, see how it sands off, go from there. We applied the second coat of Bondo. I didn't mix it as hot this time, but it was still setting up on me. But we got all of that. We'll do some sanding on that, probably not till tomorrow. I hate dealing with this crap. I get it everywhere. On me, on my fingers. Yeah. And first coat here and here. We'll see how it sands out. Hopefully this will be a 2-coat and done. But we're making progress. I know it sounds insane. Hey, let me cut a car apart. No problem. We'll weld it back together. No problem. Do body work? Yeah, let's not. And there's my air compressor to interrupt it. So I'll just leave this go. Okay, we got that layer sanded out, and I'm really happy with it. It's not perfect. It's a little high there, a little low, but it's at the door jamb. It's not a quarter panel. You know, it's not something that's going to be out in view. It's really good compared to what it was. Looks really good. Or feels really good. Looks decent. Primer will tell me. Same with this. We got to get everything cleaned, masked up, and sand the rest of this with like 220. I think I gotta do 220. Maybe I'll go back over it with 320, make sure it's nice and good enough to put primer over. And then surprisingly, this come out pretty good. It's a little high there, but unless I get back into doing metal work, it's not going to come out. And I'm not going to go back into metal work. I mean, most of this, is covered by this anyways. Once you get this on here, you're not going to be able to tell. But overall, this came out really good with that last coat. You know, I'm overall happy with it. And like I said, we didn't touch this last time around. So, I'm as happy as I'm going to be with it, personally. It's a door jamb. It's going to look good. You're only going to see it for a few seconds when the door's open anyways. We got to get it prepped out now. I got to go try to match the paint. But we're making progress in the right direction. So, we'll see where this leads us to. We're going over this with 220 to get it fine enough that I should be able to spray primer over the top. And then once we get the primer on it, then we can block the primer. Then we can do color. I took the, I forget what this is actually called, but it's what your door latches into. The washer around it's been painted. So I'm hoping maybe I can take that and match it instead of taking the trunk lid off. But my plan is to run tape right through here and then come down and then up and across to where it really doesn't matter. And then we got to do some masking in there, and we got to paint that and paint that, clean that up a little bit. So I haven't made it that far yet, but this is what I'm working on. I'm going to get this all cleaned up. 220. I might even go to 320, so it's got a really good, hopefully find enough base that it doesn't leave any, sanding scratches through. But it's just time consuming sitting here sanding and sanding and sanding. And the room on this up here really kind of not good, trying to get to it, but I don't want to take the doors off. I really don't, because I really don't want to line them back up and wrestle with them. So we're working on it, and like up there, people really aren't going to see that too well. My opinion only, but we're working towards it. This is where we're at today. I did a little more sanding over here because I wasn't happy. And then I've been taping, which is something I'm not very good at, but we made it work. Took way longer than I wanted it to, but I probably overkilled it, but I don't want any overspray anywhere it doesn't need to be. So, we got it taped up. Now we're going to go work on the other side, because the other side hasn't been touched yet. And we got to get that all taped up, and then we got to start primering and everything else. So, well, before I can get that buried, I better get this out of here. This is my prep solve. So, or, well, grease and wax remover, but I call it prep solve. I bought a new can of it too, because I'll go through a bunch of this. I'll go through a bunch of this while I'm doing sanding and prep work and all that fun stuff. Also, painted your body plugs today. Well, painted the other side. I painted the other side. So, we're making a little bit of progress. Just not anywhere near as fast as I wanted to, because, you know, all that back masking and everything to make sure it's sealed so nothing gets blown in anywhere it doesn't need to be takes time. I'm no professional. And I got this done. Probably extreme overkill, but I'd rather be overkill than get paint somewhere we don't want it. Primer next. But then it starts the fun. Spray it, wait for it to dry, spray it, wait for it to dry. Making a little progress up here. Got all the lines on, got all the bracket on. Didn't put that on. Got the upper alternator bracket on. I think it looks pretty good. But what's most important is this. Got the primer in. Want to leave it out here tonight to dry. There's probably a good 5 heavy coats on there, so it'll dry tonight, and we'll sand it tomorrow. And hopefully, we'll spray paint tomorrow. We're going to Have to see what weather does tomorrow. I know it's supposed to rain, but we'll see moisture wise and this and that, what's in the shop. But hopefully they're going to spray paint tomorrow because I don't really want to bring my car in, and I'm not bringing my car in until we're done painting. So it's kind of where I'm at. But we got this all done. And I mean, it takes an extra special professional to run primer. Yeah, I'm not exactly happy with that, but it'll sand. As long as I don't do it with the gold, because I really don't want to sand and buff, and that ain't happening anyway. So here's the status of, well, not a good. I went and got some spot putty because there was a couple like nicks and stuff I didn't see or I knew was there and I knew I could fill with spot putty. And I put it there, and I put it there to fill a couple of spots. And as soon as I started trying to sand it, it decided that it was going to pull the spot putty, the primer, and everything else off of the car. So now we're back to square one. Well, not fully back to square one, but now I'm going to have to turn the heat up even more because it's 60 in here and it says it should be 70. But I mean, what the hell? It was 70 some degrees yesterday outside when I was spraying it. But we did get this sanded down quite a bit this morning, and it's going to need a little more work, but it's not bad. Had a couple of spots like here, and just a few things I wanted to touch up with spot putty. But now I'm afraid to sand it, so I'm just going to walk away for the day on the body work. It just got to. I wanted to get it sprayed today, but evidently today was not the day. So we're just going to leave it and come back to it tomorrow. And hopefully this stuff will be dried good and dry, and I can sand it and prep it and get it ready to go. And now on to the other project I was working on while I was waiting for stuff to dry. I got the alternator put on, got the power steering pump pulley put on this morning, and I had to loosen the power steering pump. I got to put some more shims behind it to get it square. It's still not quite there. It needs to come out just a little bit more. I mean, I'm sure the video doesn't show it, but it's not bad. But hopefully now that the alternator belt just doesn't go from the water pump to the alternator like the newer style, it was literally a belt from here to here, and then it drove off the power steering pump, and all it did was squeal. So this new setup should work pretty good. I'm probably going to go buy, there we go. Need to back away from the body work for today and let it dry. I am going to reshoot them. I put my hand down here while I'm talking, but I'm going to reshoot them couple areas on the driver's side today, so that way it will dry. You know, my makeshift body working table, which is my welding table, but it works good. You know, cardboard to protect it when I mix stuff. Man, I was all ready to go. But car had other plans, and we're going to work through them. That's all we can do. Real quick update on this. I was able to get everything to sand out today finally. Got most of the spots, spot primer once I let it dry, sanded out pretty good. Primered it back up. Even on this side, 2 out of 3 of the spots sanded and primered real good. There was one. That was the one that messed up with there, but that one sanded real nice. That one sanded real nice. Cleaned up. Feathered out. I put more primer over it because I rubbed through down to bare metal in a couple of spots, but it came out pretty nice. We're going to sand it up. Tomorrow I'm going to give this, I think I finished spraying at like 1 o'clock today, maybe 2 o'clock. I truly don't know. It had to have been 2 o'clock. Anyways, it don't matter. I'm not going to mess with it till tomorrow morning. Hopefully we're able to sand everything tomorrow morning. We got 4 coats on the door jambs. Come out pretty good. We don't know about matching yet. I'm dying to unwrap it like a Christmas present, but I'm going to let it dry before I take too much paper off because I don't want to accidentally screw something up. I just finished spraying it and cleaning my guns. Come over here. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way it come out. I think it's going to be a little dark, but we're trying to match paint and you don't know what color it is or anything. This is the color the gun said it was. We'll see how it dries. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. Here's the other side. I actually took a little bit of the paper off over here but I stopped. Excuse me. Pretty happy with this one too. Come out pretty nice over here. I mean, it's not going to look too bad. It's going to be in a transition inside the door jamb. Overall, it come out pretty good. Here's some nicks in there, but with this space, I wasn't going to try to fix them. And they're in the front, you know. I think overall, you're not really going to notice. This will get a sill plate on it, but I wanted the gold to match across, so that's what I did. Get this all unmessed in a little while and see how it actually looks. And then we got to do, you can't really see it, but we got to do that edge down there. We got to, because there's some weld burn marks, and wipe that down. And I really just want to do the flat edge. You know, I'm riding up. I really just want to do the flat edge with some gold to protect it, primer it, and then put the gold on it. Oh, yeah, you can see where I burned through the paint, and I don't want to do anything above here. I want to spray everything down there. But we're going to put it up on the lift, get it up to where I can see it and work on it, and hopefully, you know, like I said, we just protect it. I will get better shots of it when we get to it, but that's the next step, in my opinion. Get that done, then all the painting's done, all the dust is done, and then it is just general assembly. And there's some few curveballs and some stuff, but I'm hoping a couple of weeks of just working on it, we can get this back into a running and driving car again. Running isn't too far away, driving isn't too far away, just a lot of pieces need to go into it, and I got a lot of things I got to do, like change the dash bulbs and a bunch of other extra stuff. So we'll see where it goes from here. The moment we've all been waiting for. You know, I'm sure everybody's waiting with bated breath to see how bad this came out. You know, I might just keep stalling, because I've unmasked it. I clean up my mess, but I've unmasked it. But I might keep stalling a little bit. So you have to wait a little longer. Or not. Let's see here. Overall, I'm happy with it. You can tell it's a little different. It's a little darker. But it came out pretty good. The body work, I'm no body man. I'm trying to be. I play one in my garage. But it come out decent. It's not as nice in person. The camera doesn't show every little detail. Like there's a little divot there that I didn't catch. You know. But overall, it looks pretty good. I mean, you obviously can tell the difference. This is a little darker, that's a little lighter, but it's not bad. And then my runs, yeah, not great, but overall, it looks pretty damn good. Fairly close match, not perfect, but it's there, it's painted. No longer can tell where I put the bars, which is a definite plus. So, my opinion, it's okay. You know, like I said, not great, not terrible. For what we're doing, it'll work. It's in the door jamb. Nobody's really going to see it anyways. So